Welcome back, everyone. Cole, Scooter Boy 1970. How have you all been coping with the hot weather? It's been a bloody nightmare, isn't it? Which is one of the reasons why I've not been out. It's been too bloody hot, and my head's not been in the right frame of mind. So that's another story. Something I've got to show you. I've had some stickers made for the channel. So hopefully, when excuse me, a bit hot. So when if I see anyone out and about and they ask me for stickers, hopefully I'll have some. I'll just show you. Not too bad, is it? Show you on the front of the GTS. Don't think it looks too sad. And on the back of the 50s Vespa. After all, this is a scooter that inspired the sticker. So yeah, there we go. That's that done. Now to the task in hand. You have to excuse the extra noise. Got the fan running because it's still bloody hot. Yeah, the task in hand. Getting the engine out. Engine out. It's having trouble with gear selection. As far as it will change gear, no problem. Rides absolutely lovely, but the gear change is very clonky. Yeah, as I was saying, it's running really well. It's my mate Dave's, best mate Dave. Everyone needs a Dave on YouTube. Go over and check his channel out. Yeah, runs really well. Changes gear okay. It goes into gear, no problem. But each gear selection is really clonky. So my thought is it's the push drive, clutch on the clutch side of the engine. Unfortunately, the engine got to come out. You could probably do it with it still in the frame, but it's so much easier to just pull it out, and so I could pull it apart, stick it up on the engine stand over there. Look, over there. Lost my train of thought. Back in a second. Yeah, much easier. Pull it out, stick it in the engine stand, pull it apart, assess each bit as we go. I shall have a look at the gearbox shimming, see if it needs thicker shims. It is a 2003, so what's that, 23 years. It's a high possibility that it might need re-shimming on the gearbox. I'm going to check the gear selector arm because sometimes they get a bit wobbly. Hopefully that'll just be a simple matter of tapping the pin back in a little bit further. Have a look at that. If it's not that, then obviously push drive out, replace that. But won't be doing it all in this video. All I'm going to hopefully do for this one is get the engine out, try and show you the way I do it. It's not necessarily the best way, but it's the way I like to do it. So bear with me. If there's any other ways that you know, or you've tried, or you've done, there's a better way, please let me know, because sharing it all around, it gives other people more information and helpful hints and that sort of stuff. So yeah, here we go. Let's get cracking. What I'm going to start is I'm going to get rid of the spider for starters. Drain the oil, because obviously I'm going to be moving it around and such like, so I don't want oil spilling around everywhere. What you've got here is underneath the engine. I'll show you, I'll try and show you. Underneath the engine, see that? That one there. Undo that. I undo that to let the air flow through so it don't sort of vacuum. I'll get those done. And then get back to you. When it comes to putting it all back together again, I will got plenty of oil in it. I'll replace all these fibre washers, see. Always, if you have to drain the oil for whatever reason, always replace the fibre washers, because yeah, you'll get a couple of uses out of them, but they won't be any good. I think this one's sorry, get my head in the way. 11mm, yeah it is. There we go. My suggestion would be to wear gloves, because you're going to get filthy. It's quite a tight one, this one. There we go. Let that drain off. Let's get myself a cloth, because I didn't get one. Right, while that's draining off, I'll leave that running for a bit. Just go up to the top and then just start undoing cables and stuff. Air bellows. All this is pretty self-explanatory, really. Give us another pot to put all the stuff in. Right, where are we? Phillips head screw. Bear with. What I'm doing, some people don't, but I like to. Just going to remove take the carb off completely. Two screws. One at the front, one at the back, for the box top. Don't forget you've got your clutch cable and choke cable in there. It's always pretty tight. Well, it should be if you've got the rubber on here anyway. See, it's normally pretty tight because you've got this rubber carb top. Straight head screwdriver. That's for your air filter. 2 screws on that. In the box. It should take, all going well, about 15 minutes. Not for the air box, yes, not for the air filter, for the whole engine removal. Right, that's in now. Going to get another box. Actually, no, I won't, don't worry. So in there you've got that's the oil metering device. Just there, obviously that's all the carb and whatever. Undo this, take that off. That's the throttle linkage there, and there's your choke. So I'm going to get a right angled pick to pull this forward and remove the throttle cable. Hopefully I won't get in your way. Screwdriver to push on that. Pick to get under there. Sometimes it can be a bit of a faff because it never goes where you want it to go. There you go. Easier than I thought. Again, now choke. I always get that out of the way. Push that forward. choke cable out of the way. So pull those out of the way completely. There you go. So that's them three. Right, what I need now is something to go in here. This is your 2-stroke oil. Out there. Handily, the carb top screw slot in there because you don't want that dripping all over your floor. 11mm nut for that. 11mm spanner. Actually, try and get that banjo bolt undone. Jubilee clip, whatever you want to call it. That's undone. 10mm. Screwdriver. A little bit of fuel is going to come out because obviously you've got some in the pipe there. Right, put that in a pot for a little while. Try and get this end off. Gonna go through. Right, I'll cut the pipe. You shouldn't normally have to cut the pipe, but looks like it's quite old, so I'll just replace the fuel pipe. Get that hose clamp in a minute. Right, now we want these two. But what you need to do with removing the carburetor, always gently undo them each at a time. Don't undo one fully, leaving the other one on, because there are chances. It's exactly the same as doing it up. Do one, each one slightly, gently, each time. That way you got less chance of the warping the carburetor. That's a H8 Allen bolt. So you just crack it. This one, same. Just crack it. Back onto this one. See, now that's really loose now. Okay. There should be two washers. Should be a spring washer and a black flat washer. It's not always the case, because sometimes when people dig in there, they lose one and they think, don't worry, that's fine. But it does matter. Always keep the bits and pieces safe. I know I'm probably one of the world's worst. A bit of advice. Nuts and bolts and stuff like that. Always keep them safe, because the last thing you want to do is hunt around trying to find new bolts. See, spring washer, a flat washer. Spring washer, flat washer's falling down the side. You got spring washer, flat washer. Put those back over the bolts so I know they're there. Right, I don't drop the bolt and lose it. The carb should just lift out. Yep. Front carburetor. I'll put this down on the side. Be careful when putting it down, carburetors down, because you don't want to bang them underneath. Damage it underneath, they don't seal properly. Our box retainer. Cool. There's a tight one. Our box 3. Put the carburetor back in the carb box, nice and safe. Right. Disconnect the electrics. Cool. So I can need to get the tap and die out. Clean up some of these threads. Yeah. Cool, blimey. Penetrating fluid. Never had to use it on anything like this before. Right, I'll let that soak in. You go around to the other side, remove the spare wheel. See all you people saying, people that work on Vespas, well, I know if you're doing that, but it gives you more room. You remove the spare wheel that way, obviously not the battery because you don't need to. Remove the spare wheel out of the way, you can get to the exhaust bolt, you can get to the back wheel. It's just a lot easier, in my opinion anyway. Right, 14 mil. There we go. Especially the positive terminal. That's no bloody good, it's flat. So we're having a spare wheel. What's flat? I'll stick some air in it for him. Do it now while I remember. Stick about 30 psi in it, that'd be plenty. Excuse me if the compressor goes off, it's quite possible. Yep, 30 psi. That'll do. No point having a spare wheel if it's not pumped up, is it? Dave Downham. Right, that's that done. Get out of the way. Let's have a look, see if this screw will undo. Back to the screw in question. How on? Much better. Much better. It's what you're always better off doing. Again, get the tap and die over that, clean it up, probably wire brush it. What we need to do with these is, it's not going to undo the plug, not yet. Undo them. Get it out of the way. All this is literally just so with the ignition wire at the end. There you go, that's that done. Get that out of the way. What about this? Start a motor. Forgot about that. Start a motor wire. Right, anyway, that's that done. Oil's done. Get the drain plug back in. Always get rid of your oil responsibly. Don't have to do these up particularly tight, because obviously there's no wire there. There's the other one. Here it is. The other one. Right, now I'm going to what shall I do? Take the spring off the exhaust. This is fitted with a SIP, SIP, however you want to pronounce it, Road 2 exhaust. And it goes really well. Mainly standard engine. Well, actually it is standard engine. It's got 24mm carb fitted to suit. Again, like I say, SIP Road 2 exhaust. Really suits it. It's just so much more pep. It's the same exhaust that I've got on my 50s Vespa, but on that I've got the twin tailpipe one, which is great, sounds lovely, looks the part, but it's an absolute pain in the arse if you want to change the wheel, because you can't get to anything. Flywheel cover, gear selector cover, flywheel cover off, safe, spanners back away, because I know I will lose them, as I always do. It's alright wearing gloves, but you can't pick bugger all up. Must be comical watching this. Fuck it. That on the shelf. Right, these are all out of my toolkit that I take everywhere. I've had these spanners since I first started scootering. That was at 86, so I suppose mid 86 I've had these spanners. Back in the olden days, called blimey. Way back when. Right, I'm going to, let's get you back again. Where you've got clutch cable here, just here. I'm not going to worry about undoing that, so just get a new clutch cable anyway. So with a good pair of cutters, snip. Oh, you told you I'll drop everything. Put that safe. Job done. I should definitely be undoing the rear brake cable. Yeah. It might be interesting getting it out, but I should still be undoing it. Right, I'm doing the rear brake cable. It's probably a 14 or 15 mil. Where are we? Not there. Anyone can do these sorts of jobs. Don't need too many specialist tools. With decent home mechanic, it's quite within their capabilities. Anytime it ever gets a bit complicated, so people start putting, so excuse my head getting in the way, people start putting kits and stuff on, then you have to worry about everything else that goes with it. And you think the basics of the Vespa engine haven't changed since its introduction in the 1940s. So I say the basics. Obviously the engines have, but the basics of them haven't. All rotary valve induction. Apart from some of them, piston induction like the SS 180s. Might replace that rear brake cable for him. Right, so that's those done. Clutch cable done. Rear brake cable done. Gear selector off. Next, get this oil out of the way. Right, gear selector off next. These are 11mm nuts. Schoolboy error. Actually, no, I won't. Just use these. There'll be a bit of oil caught in there. What am I trying to do with that? Be a little bit of oil caught in here. Again, it's the same as what I said about with the carburetor, about undoing it evenly. Undo them evenly. So when you think it's only alloy, it does twist, it does buckle. So if you undo them evenly, saves any hassle in the future. See, a little bit of oil dripping out. Should be a fucking hell, a lot of oil dripping out. There you go. What a fault. Where's that pick? Here comes putting it together. I'll put up on screen what torque settings and stuff should be. Right. What I'll do with this, basically, stick it in a fourth. Okay. That's that off. So check. No. Seems okay. Gasket off. If you're removing gasket from these or any aluminium surface, and for our, if I've got any American viewers, aluminum, always use plastic to scrape the surfaces, because if you don't, you will damage it and risk oil leakage. No one wants to have oil seeping. I like the word seep. It's like ooze. I like ooze as well. Too fat and old to reach down there. No, I'm not scraping it on there. I'm just trying to catch the pieces of paper because my fat fingers won't fit in there. That's that off. Just check, see if this is loose or not. What's that? 17, I reckon. Really? Right, let's keep these safe by putting them back on. That way they don't get lost. Now, the only thing you've got to do now is the suspension, rear shock mount and the main engine bolt, and then the engine should drop out. You know, as I said, the words should, not will. When you do stuff like this, always give yourself a little bit of time to look it over, make sure you've got everything out of the way, make sure you've undone everything, No random cables attached. So the last thing you want to do if you're struggling, the bloody engine in your hand, is to have to worry about trying to get a cable undone at the same bloody time. Right, let's get this lot out of the way. I'll undo these. That one there. Undo that bolt. This one here. Undo that. And then I'll leave the actual, undo that nut. It's not a bolt, it's a nut. Undo that nut. I'll leave the bolt in. Same as on the, I'll just show you. On the engine side. Bear with me. On the engine side, undo that. And I'll leave the bolt in. And then I'll decide which way round I should pull them out. So taking the exhaust off. Rear wheel's going to have to come off. Not a problem. Let's do that. And see whether it's 13 or 14. 13. Oh, put that back on. You only go walkies if I don't. As in, I'll end up losing it. Right, 13 mil. Crack these undone. Right, these should have spring washers and flat washers. They haven't. Right, that's all 5. In case you're wondering, yes, the scooter is strapped down at the front, but this may drop a little bit. So, it's never been the easiest thing in the world to get out. So it's always better to do these jobs when they're laying on this side, on the side of the road. Right, 17. Let's do that. Okay. Bear with me. I have to get one of these as a captive nut on the back of the exhaust. Right, anything I need to do now is undo it from the barrel end. I'll leave you there for a sec. Right. Here we go. Right, that's that, and that. And that. Put stuff back, don't forget. There we go. Right, what I need now is, looks like there's also been rubbing on there. It might have been me actually. But tyre been rubbing on me. Could have been me. What I need to do now is undo that. Then undo that. That one. Yeah. That one. Bear with me. Size nut is that. Okay, go. $22, what do you reckon on that? No, it wasn't exhaust. Still on my petrol tank and an handbrake. 22, look at that. Must know what I'll be doing. Helps if I've got a battery on it, doesn't it? Lovely. Right. Just stop what I'm doing for a sec. What is in that pot? That's that. I'm just going to tap it to see if it moves. Yep, that moves, so that's fine. I'm going to put this bolt back in the exhaust so I don't lose it. That's that done. Right, let's get this nut undone. I think, again, see I do from time to time, I think that's a 17 mil. Sometimes they put 15 on one side and 17 on the other. No idea why, but sometimes they do. So look, see where we are. Well done, good. Makes a nice sound, doesn't it? Just so it's not cracked. Right, that's that. Get spanners out of the way. Lift the engine a little bit. Yep. So that works. Right. Let's do this. Some rads because that's going to fall down. Yeah, that's that. Now it's just a case of pulling this out. Now it's just a case of pulling that bolt there out. That one just there. It's the only thing now holding the engine in. So let's get some vice grips. Some I prepared earlier. Right, I'll tap it through from the other side a little bit more. Should be quite easy to pull out. To be honest, probably won't need the grips. Support the cylinder. A little wiggle. There you go. Yeah, support the engine. Pull that out. That's it. The only thing holding that engine in the frame is me. Here we go. One PX engine liberated from the frame. Not too difficult. What did I say? Can't remember what time I started this. So we look at recording. How long have I been recording? Been recording for an hour. Right, let's lift that out of the way. I'll put it over there. Right, that, as they say, is that. Not too bad. Hope I wasn't going on too long. Like I say, this isn't a how-to video. It's a how I video. So if anyone else knows of any better ways of doing it, easier ways of doing it, safer ways of doing it, please leave a message in the comment section. So, right, that's that one for this week. Bear with me, just sorry about that. Right, just turn the fan off for a sec. Hold on. You better hear me speak then. Right, that's me done. Get myself cleaned up. That's that for the for this video. Next, I'll be putting it in the engine stand. I've got to fix that to the bench properly first, so that won't be good if I didn't fix it to the bench. Yeah, stick it in the engine stand and start doing investigations. The gear selector looks okay. I might have a bit of a play around with that. Yeah, see how that goes. Bear with me. Nice clean cloth. It's still so muggy, isn't it? Cool. Yeah, that's that done. Right. Engine in the stand next. Yeah, engine in the stand next. I've said this about 4 times. You must be getting bored of it by now. I'll start pulling it apart. I'll probably do the dismantle in one complete video because there's not a lot to it. And I'll, whilst I take it apart, I'll split the side case, as in split the engine 2 halves, take the flywheel side off. I'll check the, I keep looking aside, meaning looking over there as I'm looking at the engine. I'll check the brain's not working, brain fog, menopause I think it must be. Yes, right, let's get back to it. I will be checking the gap on the, what am I thinking of? Seeing the shim gap on the gearbox. checking that. If that's okay, great. If not, I'll have to get him to, or I'll order it, some gearbox shims. I think these have got shims on the top and bottom, but I think I'm not 100% certain, but I think you only have to check the top. Could be wrong, but I think you only have to check the top. If there are shims on the bottom, I might get them to get bottom gearbox shim. Sorry, a bit sweaty. Bottom gearbox shim and top one. Might, don't know. Probably change the cruciform, or for you Americans, the shifting cross. Don't know where that's come from, but still, the cruciform is what it's supposed to be called. Yeah, that I changed that as a matter of course with engine split, so why not? Be silly not to, really. Do that. If the lay shaft has got to come out for whatever reason, I might replace the lay shaft oil seal, rear hub oil seal, because it's internal on this. Again, might do that just as a matter of course because the engine's split. Be silly again, silly not to. Don't want to have to do that again. I'll also check the piston ring gap. It's still producing around about 125, 130 psi of pressure, because I did a compression test not a little while ago, when it was brought round. Did that, so it's still producing, like I say, 120 to 130 psi, so that's not too bad. It's not decent enough running, and it has been running well. Yeah, check the ring gap. If it's a little bit large, just get him to replace the piston rings. Again, we're going to Bristol next month now, in August, about a month and a half away. So I might get him to do that anyway, so the piston rings are running and bedded in by the time we go. I might do that on mine as well, because mine, although it's a PX125 engine in my 50s Vespa, it's got a DR180, DR177, whatever you want to call it. It's got a DR kit on it. But for me, it does what I want, and I'm perfectly happy with it. I don't care what anyone says. Right. I think that's it, really. Is it? Yeah, I think that's it, really. So, yeah. If you could... hold on. What am I going to say? This is all waffle. Probably get cut out. For those people that watch the videos, could you just give it a like? Because the more likes I get, the better it is on the YouTube algorithms, whatever that means. But still, apparently it matters on the YouTube algorithms. So if you watch it, even if you only watch it for 10 minutes, just stick a like down, and that sort of introduces me to other people. Then I'd like it if you watch the whole video, but I know not everyone does, because not everyone can put up with me waffling. Yeah, so that's it from me. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget the usual likes and subscribes. If you see me out and about, give me a tap on the shoulder. I'll say hello. Might even give you a sticker. That's if I've got them with me. But yeah, see me out and about. So I say, just give us a shout. Let me know what you think of the videos. Honestly, if you think they're crap, just tell me they're crap. But yeah, that's it from me. Thanks again, and I'll get back to you soon. Take care.